Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Anything Before Anything Goes. My name's Miguel.
I'm getting by.
I'm getting by. Hello, and welcome to episode 74 of the podcast. Today, folks, we've got an explosive docket for you today, including Ahsoka. For some reason, a horrible fourth Expendables movie. We'll talk about sex ed. Loki's coming out. Assassin's Creed. SpongeBob has been renewed for 15th season.
As it should.
And we're going to talk a little bit about the state of streaming with Disney Plus now also cracking down on password sharing.
Fucking
Brendan.
You know how many times I've had to re-sign in to Netflix this week because I wasn't part of a household? 7.
At least.
At least.
It's not good, is it?
If you have to adjust that you're part of the household and you have to do it more than twice in a week, what are they going by? Like your Wi-Fi network? Like, what is it? Because me and him share stuff, and his Xbox is set to my Xbox home, and his is mine.
Has nothing to do with your Xbox. Probably has to do with your...
But, like, that's my home. That's my main thing. That's considered his main account. And every single time he goes to watch Netflix, he has to do set my household. And then every time I watch, I have to set my household. And we're both trying to watch the same show right now. And it's terrible.
Maybe it's time to sign up for your own. Today, folks, there is no beer of the day. There is just a pumpkin spice rum chata that only I am drinking.
And sobriety.
Brendan has had a day.
I had responsibilities today that may have involved beer. Strong beer.
Oh, yeah, so what are you drinking today on the podcast?
What is this? What have you fed me?
It's like the Liquid IV, the hydration sticks, only it's Prime. Because I was like, they look like they're cheaper than Liquid IV, and it's Prime. I like the drink.
Tastes like Trix yogurt. Everything that's blue raspberry mixed with
raspberry is not a real fruit.
Everything mixed with blues raspberry and strawberry is Trix flavored.
Trix is the shit.
It is.
You know what, though?
What?
We can't drink it.
What can't we drink?
We can't drink Trix.
They have drink flavors.
We can't.
Why not?
Because Trix are for kids.
Walked right fucking into that.
That was an easy one, too. That was really good.
I hate you.
Okay. Brendan.
Yeah.
Last week, we couldn't talk about Ahsoka episode 6.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about 6 and 7 today.
Ooh.
6, you want to give me a quick recap of the story while I'm busy?
No, because I don't remember what they are individually, because I watched 6 and 7 back to back, and together they were good but not great. It had good moments, it had Anakin and snippets, it was whatever.
And I appreciated. I appreciated them just like throwing him around.
One thing I noticed watching episodes 6 and 7 that I knew kind of going into the series that really became prevalent, especially once they found Ezra,
is Rebels connections.
The Rebels connection. I do not give a fuck because I haven't watched Rebels.
Me too.
So I have no connection. So the only 3 characters I've given a fuck about in the series so far is Ahsoka,
yes,
Anakin,
yes,
and the dude whose name is escaping me, who's the dude with the beard who died.
Balin Skoll.
Yeah, him. He's a great villain.
Compelling. Is he wearing a kyber crystal on his belt? I keep seeing that.
I haven't seen that at all, but like something about him is more than meets the eye, and I'm interested. I want to see where it goes. Stop it.
I think it's God, we're not on the same page with the show whatsoever.
No,
because this to me is some of the best Star Wars that we've had in such a long time.
Like 2 years, yeah.
Outside of The Mandalorian, season 1 and 2, because the third one's bad. Book of Boba Fett's not good.
That's my problem. Hold on.
Haven't watched Andor.
The best Star Wars you've had in a couple years.
Yeah.
Why is that the goal? Why is it not the best Star Wars you've had? Why are we shooting so low?
I'm going to say Ahsoka, if they could stick the landing, because I was thinking about this yesterday, if they could stick the landing well or perfectly, Ahsoka to me will go down as something I can begin to compare to the original 6 movies.
No.
Yes. 100%.
It'll be the best TV show.
Agreed.
It'll be better than episode 2.
Yes.
Which you can compare it to. Not close enough to episode 3 or the original trilogy in any way.
Not at all.
Bordering episode 1.
Yes. But that's what I'm saying.
Without Maul.
The point is that it's in the conversation. The fact that you can go...
But Mando was better. Mando was closer to the conversation than this is.
Mando season 1 and 2, yes.
Minus nostalgia, what does it have going for it?
What does? Ahsoka?
Yeah.
The lightsaber fights are great. The colors look nice. The suits look really cool in live action.
What suits? The nostalgia suits?
What do you mean the nostalgia suits?
The suits that Anakin wears in the Clone Wars that you saw.
That's just part of it.
So what are you talking? What suits?
Ahsoka.
Her suit.
Yes.
Yes, her suit looks great. Sabine's suit looks greght.
Yes. Balin, his whole costume looks great.
Okay.
The Sith mommy, who everyone...
I have been told What is happening?
The cat is clawing at stuff.
She?
She?
I've been told that I lean towards those tendencies when watching TV shows.
Those tendencies?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Goblin tendencies.
Goblin? What does that mean?
That is what I've been told.
What does that mean?
Just fucking internet fucking person just like, hey, look at the person. They're the pretty person. We're going to fucking follow the pretty person because they're doing that. And we're just going to follow like goblins because that's where they go. And it's just like,
okay.
I
like your explanation.
I've seen the memes of that, of her and everything. And it's whatever. And as far as like a part of me wants to be like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
The other part of me is just like, that's great and all. What has she done? Nothing.
Well,
she's done nothing.
She's Padawan. She's like a dark.
Anakin was a Padawan in episode 2. He fucking destroyed in that battle royale.
But you mean where he just murdered an entire people?
No, he did it. He did it.
She's not compelling, I would say, but I
not
think,
at all. But he is.
Who is? Balin?
Yeah, it is Balon. Balin.
Skull. Yeah.
Okay. No, I just want to make sure because that's very much a Game of Thrones name.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, she is compelling to me in the way of just being like not cannon fodder, but cannon fodder with some kind of a backstory.
Okay, hear me out.
Really, hold the fuck on, Brendan. She's really great when it comes to a lightsaber fight. She's really great with the choreography. She's great with the look. Whether or not I believe her character is actually compelling and interesting, kind of beside the point.
Okay.
She's like, you know when, like in the Avengers movies, when they have a bunch of faceless people fighting and they're like, oh man, we just got to kill all the faceless dudes with 4 arms. She feels like one of those, but they just like, they gave the character a name, even though they're a background character.
Yeah. You mean like Han Solo and Oppenheimer?
Wait, Han Solo and Oppenheimer?
Yeah. Where he shows up and you're like, oh, that guy. But
Han
it does
Solo?
not matter. The guy from the Solo, like, movie.
Oh, Alden Ehrenreich.
Yes.
Okay.
Where he shows up and you're like, him.
I thought you were just like having a slip talking about RTJ.
No.
I was
no. So, get rid of the Anakin headset while she's in the ship.
Super dope.
And get rid of the fact that you have expectations for her to be something. Right now, she offers nothing.
That's not true. She's someone who's clearly about to be let down.
About to be. What has she done? What is she currently doing? Nothing.
Worked to beat the shit out of people. The same thing any of the other villains.
She stabbed one person who wasn't a Jedi, and she survived.
If you
what has
look
she
at
done?
Darth Maul in fucking episode 1 before you know anything about him, what is he? What is he? Outside of what
He's
you
the
know
Duel of
about.
the Fates guy.
He's the
he
guy
has a
with
cool
dual
soundtrack.
lightsabers.
He's got dual lightsabers. What does she got? She got a headset that Anakin used to wear. Did it better.
Anakin didn't wear it. All of the Jedi wore it. It isn't him. It's the Jedi Order.
You remember it as his. You remember it as his.
No, I remember it as Obi-Wan.
In episode 3, the opening and everything.
Episode 2, Obi-Wan with the mullet in the red ship.
Bad haircut, but
I found someone on Camino. That one.
She's bad. She offers nothing.
She's perfectly fine.
She's fine. You watch a Star Wars.
But not everything needs to reinvent the fucking wheel.
It doesn't.
Not every show needs to go, oh my god, this is the most compelling character I've ever seen in my life. No, sometimes it's fine to have.
But it brings it back to what I said before.
She's cool.
Why are you accepting things? It should not be fine. It should be good. You do not have,
good.
No, you
I'm
said
having
fun.
fun.
You should not have to reinvent the wheel, but you should be able to watch a show and be not accept what it has to offer, but enjoy what it has to offer.
Bro, it's a Disney Plus show.
Let's see what Timmy has to say about the show. Let's see if she agrees with this. Is Ahsoka a good show? Timmy says
how many
Ahsoka's
episodes
not
has she watched?
How many episodes have you watched?
3.
2, 3? So she made it 4 episodes into a 10-episode show, which means she's made it past the exposition, 8 episodes. So she's even seen a bigger...
She's seen 3 episodes, Brendan.
Portion.
How much did you give a shit about Ahsoka before Anakin showed up?
0. You know how much I cared since he left? 0.
That's a lie. That's a
Who gives a fuck? She's cool, but the story... Do not care. Thrawn showed up. He's cool, but the story, do not give a fuck.
That's because you haven't watched the thing that they told you to watch.
Showed up. Even though I don't watch Rebels, the fact that he showed up, cool. The story, don't give a fuck. What's happening? What is the story? Hey, Thrawn's showing up. We have to find.
That's the whole thing.
That's not a story. That's exposition. Because it doesn't make any sense. It's so infuriating. Sorry. We're getting excited about a show going, this is the first time this is something good for Star Wars, and this is the first time it's doing... No, it's not. It's got the first good scenes we've seen in a while. As far as a story goes, a Star Wars in-story universe that isn't a show that's got 4+ seasons, what does it have to offer besides nostalgia? Nothing. Nothing.
The story's fun.
What's the story?
guys
Give
look
me the
cool.
story.
Thrawn's coming back.
What's the story?
Thrawn's coming back.
That's not a story.
They need to
That's
stop
a
Thrawn.
setup.
Okay. You're right. The show's bad. I should know better.
No. You're just deflecting with everything because you want to move past it. What I want to know what it is that you genuinely enjoy about it.
So what I was saying, I enjoy the story. Regardless of how compelling you think it is from an episode-to-episode basis, the fact that Thrawn is coming back and the whole point is that, oh man, the Empire's gone. Or are they? Look at that. In the first 2 episodes, you had people being like, shit, man, I'm still loyal to this thing. And you're like, wait, it doesn't exist. Or does it? Why else would they be loyal to it? Thrawn shows up in episode 6. He's a cool-looking dude. They're like, hey, look, it's new stormtroopers again. Enoch is a cool-looking guy. He's like a Roman Empire badass guy with the weird-looking face. Ezra, I didn't watch Rebels. I watched like a handful of episodes.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking great when he shows up. I think it's really annoying that he doesn't have a fucking lightsaber. Easy way to sell some merchandise.
Yep.
I think that would have been fun.
Because here's my one question about it. You think it's cool that the Empire's kind of back, but not really.
Yeah.
What about Moff Gideon? What about everything we saw in The Mandalorian?
They spoke about it.
In the Book of Boba Fett? It's kind of back, but it's not.
Yeah, but
So what has he done that's any different?
Same shit.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean I can't enjoy it.
That's fair, but I want to see them build. What are they build? Like, what are they? It's kind of the same as the Marvel TV shows. What are they building towards?
They're doing exactly what they did in the beginning of the MCU. They're building towards something. There's a movie that's going to come out. There's more seasons of The Mandalorian. Depending on how this show goes, there's going to be more of it. They're building towards something. You can't go, in this day and age with these connected universes and shit, you can't go balls to the wall in the first 8 episodes of a show.
No.
Because then you lose all future prospects. If you put everything in the first 8 episodes, then when you go, season 2's coming, people go, I don't need to watch that. What the fuck more are you going to do? That's why we hated season 3 of The Mandalorian, because they went, Baby Yoda's back. And we went, well, we fucking did that already.
Yeah, but that's what it is. You have 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, a season of the Book of Boba Fett, a season of Ahsoka. What is it building towards? We have 5 seasons of TV, and they're not even at the point where they need to get to yet. And we've heard that they want to make a show about Rey, but that's probably 2 years away as well. So is there another season of it? What are we... Like,
they didn't specify that anything was connected. When The Mandalorian came out, it was just, look at this cool show. Nobody said, hey, here's phase 1. Here's this show with this season. Here's the next thing. When Book of Boba Fett came out, they didn't say, Boba Fett is building towards this. Here's the next thing. Disney went, hey, here's 25 fucking Disney shows. 15 of them are going to get canceled, and a couple of them are going to come out. It's not until Dave Filoni comes out and goes, I'm making a movie that's going to connect Mandalorian and Ahsoka, because they were in the same show.
So, like,
but when those first 3 seasons of those shows came out, nothing. There was no deliberate.
There was no expectations.
Yes, exactly. So again, still, you can't go balls to the wall.
So do you think there is anything besides this, or do you think
there's something
continuous story? I mean, not within universe, because obviously. Yes. Okay, so here's my thing. Bob Iger came back into power.
Bob Iger.
Yes, Disney Jesus. He said that they were doing too many TV shows. They want to go back into movies and everything.
Yes.
How much more do we have of just TV shows and whatever before we expect something more? Like, I know we're not expecting anything. We weren't expecting anything for the last 3 Mando seasons, but how many seasons of TV shows are we going to get snippets of things where we're just like, that was a cool moment. That was a cool kind of thing. Maybe it's building towards something before we have we don't even have like end credit things where it's like, hey, we're teasing towards this.
But you don't have to.
But I'm saying you're doing shows with that still expectation of nothing's coming after this.
So then
the problem is there's nothing happening during either.
That's not true.
What has Baby Yoda done? He decided to not be a Jedi and to be a Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Okay. What are the Mandalorians? Dead. What? What is Obi-Wan doing? Doing what he's going to wind up doing in episode 4. We know what's happening. There's nothing to look forward to that. Yes. Anakin is going to have to wind up doing what he's doing in episode 4. There's nothing leading. And like that, I feel like that's what kind of comes down to what's so infuriating about all of this is we have these grand expectations. We want more. We do whatever. And they're trying to do it, like fill in the gaps we've talked about in previous episodes. But what can you put that's going to blow our mind? What can you put that's going to be this grand expectation that hasn't happened in episode 4 and beyond or whatever?
You can totally do that.
But what could you fill in there? You put in Rogue One that did it,
Brendan,
which did it phenomenally.
We're not in episode 4. Ahsoka and The Mandalorian are post 6.
Yes.
That whole trilogy that nobody's explored any part of.
Post 6, where Luke has that Jedi thing that falls apart.
Yes.
Ben destroys everything,
Yes.
and it all falls apart, and then Rey becomes a Skywalker, which is then what the next movie or series is going to be about.
That's the same thing. You know what happens from, hypothetically, those 6 movies, between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It was the same thing when they go, oh, we have the prequels. And it's been the same thing. It's, what are you going to fill in? We know Anakin does this. Then you have the Clone Wars. There's a bunch of shit. Then you have Rebels that connect it. Then you have a banger like Rogue One. You have Solo. You have whatever else. All of these fucking TV shows. There's so much to fill in. It's just we haven't thought of it. Or we're not thinking what they're thinking.
But do you need to?
Of course not.
So why do it? Why not
Money.
create new
Money?
But the universe creates money.
Money.
The older Republic, the new shit beyond. Even
That's what they're doing.
But they're not. They're still filling in the gaps which we don't need.
Yes.
Give me new story. Branch out. You're giving me the
That's what
witches,
they're doing.
which we know of. We're giving me Ahsoka and Ezra, which we know of.
Just because it's things you know of doesn't mean it's not good. It doesn't mean that it's not something that can be explored. Just because it's not this new thing that you know absolutely nothing about that has absolutely nothing to do with anything doesn't mean it's good either.
No.
You can have someone go, hey, here's this story of Ahsoka that you've never seen. Oh, you know these 5 seasons of this TV show that people love? Here's a live action version of it. That can be compelling. And it is. Just because you didn't follow Rebels doesn't make it inherently a bad show.
Is it really? Is it really compelling if you look at each episode, minus the fact that you're waiting for this main character to show up from a show that several people, like hundreds, if not millions of people, did love to show up in episode 7? And Anakin showing up in episode 5, what's happening that you're looking forward to besides just getting to those points which are fan service? What is there? It's filler. It's all filler.
It's the story.
What's the story? Hey, we have to find Ezra,
Thrawn.
which they did for Luke. Oh no, Thrawn's back. Oh, you know who else is back? The Emperor. What's new is happening. It's this, they're recycling shit that just happened. They're not even rebooting.
You could get even deeper. That's all of cinema. That's all that storytelling has been since the fucking dawn of written text.
But they're literally
all
copying and pasting in something that happened a couple years ago from the same franchise.
It's Disney.
Because
that's what they do. They fucking print, rinse, and repeat. Here's the fucking Little Mermaid 25 years later.
Yeah, but they're not
Here's
throwing
the
Little Mermaid into this. They're throwing the Emperor, who
That's exactly what they did.
They did
6 months ago. They fucking did that. They went, hey, the Little Mermaid from the 90s.
And you know what?
Again,
I didn't watch
but
it.
There's a rap song in it instead.
Wow.
A couple years ago, what they do? They went, hey, there's 3 Lion King movies. How would you like it live action? Oh, but they're CG animals. Does that really count as live action?
Favreau films
it broke
in years.
$1 billion.
You know why? Because it was the Lion King, not because it was good.
Because people like the same shit. If people like something, that's why they keep doing it. That's why they went, hey, we have to course correct with episode 9. Here's the fucking Emperor again.
Did they like it, or did they go to see, hey, I love the Lion King, let's go see this live action one?
It's the same fucking thing.
No one left that movie going, man, that was groundbreaking.
Are you telling me?
Everyone left that movie going, man, that was the same fucking movie.
You're telling... See, that can't be true.
Why?
Because otherwise it wouldn't have broke $1 fucking billion.
It broke $1 billion because it was the Lion King. You ask anyone from our generation what's your favorite fucking...
From people seeing the same
Disney
movie over and over again.
Always the Lion King.
The only reason that Avengers broke fucking $2.8 billion is because dipshits like us saw it 4, 5, 6 fucking times. That doesn't just happen. The normal
But the Avengers was new. Endgame, Infinity War...
5 times it was new?
It was
5 times.
It was. That's why we saw it 5 times, because it was innovative.
It's
it was
the same thing.
The villain won.
What about the poor 6-year-old? What about the 6-year-old that's never seen the original Lion King, or 1.5, or fucking 2? What about the 6-year-old that's like, man, I think that looks cool. That's a really cool looking lion. I bet he's cool. I hope his father doesn't die. What about him?
He does.
It's the same fucking thing.
That's
People
fair.
like to see the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Just because we are not the target audience doesn't mean it doesn't resonate with other people. Just because we are like, man, it's just fucking Ahsoka. We've seen this already in Thrawn. Doesn't mean poor little Jimmy, who's 11 years old, isn't going, man.
But for this show, it is.
Cool.
You can't watch the show without the previous show, and if you do, like I am, you're missing out on half of the show.
Yes, you are. But that doesn't mean you can't watch it.
So you can't rehash shit when you have to watch the original shit to get the rehash.
Because to us, it's a rehash.
Just nonsense.
No, it's not.
If I didn't watch the show, it's not a rehash to me. Just because you told me it's a rehash is because I know it is.
If you do the same thing twice, you have one person that's seen both.
Rage time.
If you do the same thing twice, you have one person that's seen both and one person that only sees the second. In that isolated situation, that is the only one to them. You don't have to worry about it being rehashing because it's all that they know. Or little Jimmy, who's a fucking 12-year-old right now. only knows, fuck, man, Thrawn's coming back. I wonder what that fucking means. You and me are
But that doesn't mean anything because he doesn't know who Thrawn is. He's like, hey, fuck, Thrawn's showing up.
You don't know that. Maybe Jimmy spent his early day because he's 12. Maybe Jimmy spent his first 7-8 years of life watching fucking Rebels.
So it's not
because
new.
the cartoon
it is a
was
rehash
because
he saw that.
It's not a rehash. It's a continuation. Thrawn fucking disappeared in the end of Rebels, and the whole point of the Ahsoka show is to fucking bring him back.
Just to kill him off.
It's not a rehash.
He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
I hope he doesn't. To piss fuckers off like you.
I hope he doesn't either.
Lives, so
you know what?
You can sit here on this podcast and go, wait a second, where's Thrawn?
That would be good. I would be happy.
I hate you.
I would be happily disappointed in my own beliefs.
I can't fucking stand you.
But the fact is that I can call something like that, and there's a 70% chance it's gonna happen. Does that not seem like a problem in media that we're watching
entirely,
these things, and I can call the ending?
You're looking at it in a vacuum. In a vacuum of Star Wars, yes,
in the vacuum of the Star Wars universe.
Everything does this. Everything repeats itself and rehashes because they know what people like. They know what's going to make money. In Episode 9, you could have gone, look, Rey has a double-sided blue lightsaber. She's going to beat the fuck out of this dude, whatever. But they didn't. They went, people know the Emperor.
Then you know what's going to happen?
And then the Emperor fucking walks out on the stage for Episode 9. He goes, play it
then
again.
I'm going to stop
and it's
watching.
The same thing.
Just like I stopped playing Call of Duty.
Stop watching.
Like every year came out the same thing, and eventually, you're not happy. Don't act like you're happy. You're not. You're getting by. Same with the show. We're getting by. Okay? And like as excited as childlike happiness that I got from seeing Anakin wearing his Clone Wars shit, that wasn't the show. That was a moment. Give me that as a show.
That's entirely the show. The show is about his Padawan.
The other 7 episodes.
The show isn't about
6.
him. The show is about the Padawan. It's literally everything has to do with him because she's directly connected to him.
But
what do you mean?
It's about Sabine.
You're not worried about Anakin.
Ezra.
You're not fucking worried about Anakin. The show is named Ahsoka. First of all,
it's named Ahsoka so she can be like this while the characters do the real shit.
Yes,
that's not her show.
It has entirely to do with him.
They're underutilizing the main character.
Hayden Christensen isn't in every single minute of every single fucking episode doesn't mean the show has nothing to do with Anakin Skywalker. She was introduced in his movie. She only showed up in the Clone Wars connected to him.
Yep.
Anytime she was in Rebels, she was like, man, look, my master, he was really cool. He's a fucking dick now. Or she goes to beat the fuck out of him and almost dies.
Without her showing up in the first 5 minutes of the show, grabbing the map that anyone could have grabbed.
It was a bad opening. And nobody's fighting that.
And her going, I can read minds based on this object I'm touching. He's there getting the whale mouth. Besides those two,
that's the Force. Okay, that's not her. That's not even Dave fucking Filoni.
Which the one green lady whose name I can't remember his name, son could also do. So he could use that logic because of the Force.
That's the Force. That's exactly what it is. It's a fucking MacGuffin. Okay, it's a built-in MacGuffin in the entire.
So having said that, you don't need her in her own show to have the story.
You could have survived.
So how is it a good show if the main character is invalid?
Because I'm having fun.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you really?
Yes. The only person not having fun in this room is you because you're fucking screaming.
Hey, Timmy. Hi. Were you having fun watching Ahsoka?
That's why she stopped.
You know why? Because it was bad. You're the only one having fun, and you're not having fun. There's video evidence of you and me talking shit about this show.
About the beginning.
You mean 4 episodes of the 8?
3.
It's not a good show. It has good moments.
Brendan,
just like episode 2 is not a good movie.
It's a shit movie.
But it's got good moments. Would you call it? No, this is not a good show.
You don't need to convince me. The job here is not to convince me to start hating the show. The job is to talk about our opinion.
Hate Ahsoka. Fuck it. It's bad and you know it. Stop living the lie. It's not a good show. On any note, what's next?
I think it's fun, and I'm not having a good time today.
I'm having a blast.
Let's talk about the Expendables.
I love going on rants.
If you want to talk about things that really don't need to fucking exist, let's talk about Sylvester Stallone and the clear work that he's gotten done on his face that is just catching up with him as he gets older.
Oh my god.
He looks like a fucking blow-up
potato
doll.
Man.
He looks like somebody stuck a fucking straw in his neck and just blew into it. His lips, his neck, his cheekbones. He needs to just fucking stop. Can we talk? Spoilers. Can you talk about how this is his movie?
Who saw it? It doesn't matter.
$30 million opening. Can we talk about how this is his movie? And the first 10 minutes, he fucking dies
in a horrifying death with a charred corpse.
Yes, where they show you, and they make sure to show you in multiple different angles, and then take his hand and use it as a monument in a bar.
That's the other thing. I've seen the other films. I don't remember them really well.
We just watched one yesterday, and I started 2. Huge fucking difference.
I don't remember him mentioning a ring once.
He has the ring. It's mentioned in the first 15 minutes of the first one.
Does he really?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
And it's the exact same ring.
I take it back. But like, because like my entire thing is like, I feel like they just mentioned this ring solely because he could die and be like, man, that doesn't look like Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
but he's got that ring on, man,
Exactly.
so it's got to
That's
be
exactly
him.
what it is.
And I'm like, you just made me witness a bar fight just so I can see this motherfucker die, just so you could bring it back at the end, and then replace him with Megan Fox, which is not the same.
Yeah. So basically, the story of the Expendables 4 is surprisingly, again, I just like you, I watched the first couple when they came out.
Yeah.
And just recently rewatched the first one after seeing the fourth one.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much of the exact same cast from the first one is in this fourth one.
Is it really?
Yes.
Is 50 Cent
So
in it?
many of them. Most, except for 50 Cent. Most of them. And fucking Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Ah,
The Spanish dude?
no.
Just Dolph Lundgren. And
Dolph
the bald
Lundgren,
dude.
the bald dude who talks about his wrestling.
Jason
and his cauliflower
Statham,
ears.
who's the main character, and then,
Sylvester
Rocky, who
Stallone.
dies.
Yes. Dude, this is such a bad fucking movie. They're just like, oh, we need to go kill this guy because we need to get this thing, and he was trying to get a thing, and Sylvester Stallone dies, and now we need to avenge him. But they're like, oh, you're excommunicated. But then Jason
Wick.
Statham is and Jason Statham is like, I'm gonna go anyway to save my buddies. And for some reason, in the movie universe, right, they take Sylvester Stallone, Barney.
What a bad name. What a bad name.
What's better, Lee Christmas? That's a better name, dude.
It's
Jason
such a-
Statham.
every time they're like, Christmas, I'm like, what the fuck?
Whose fucking name is
Where's
that?
the tree? What's
So-
happening?
You take Sylvester Stallone and they go, oh, he's dead. We need someone to lead the group. Megan Fox is clearly the
Clearly
answer.
the right choice, not Jason Statham, who's been here from the start. You know what? Not only are you not in charge, get the fuck out.
We kick you out
We
entirely.
don't want you
and
anymore.
then it's got this fucking easiest twist you could think of. You got this guy.
He's in
They're
charge.
like, look, he's in charge. He's a good guy. He's talking about his balls far too often. There are too many comments about his balls and making sure they're tucked in his pants. I hate it. and then in the end, they're like, I wonder who the bad guy is. And we're all like, it's clearly that fucking dude.
Is that dude?
It's been that guy since the beginning.
Also, the actual, like, not the actual, but like the bad guy they wanted you to believe
Yeah.
was the Asian dude.
Yeah.
Terrible.
His acting was bad, but the choreography was great.
Choreography was good, but
It's just
the acting.
This
You're an
movie,
Expendables movie. You're the fourth sequel. You couldn't
Yes.
find a legitimate actor or give him some feedback to where you're just like, hey, man,
Yeah.
that sounds like
It
shit.
doesn't even
Try
need
it
to be
again.
Like, it doesn't even need to be a known actor. It's
worse
just
than
needs
Ray.
To be someone. Ray?
Yeah.
Ray.
J.J. Abrams called her wooden. This guy was less than wooden. He was dead.
He was bad. This movie was so confusing. If you want to just go from like a shot-to-shot basis, because the one shot would be this great choreography of like they do like a Mortal Kombat stance side by side, and then they just go and they do the shit, and then it would cut to a close-up on someone's face, and it'd be them covered in a fucking green screen.
Which
and
is
then it would
more
cut
obvious
again.
than King Kong
It
with
would
like
cut
Jack
again
Black
to
in
the
it.
three of them, right? The three people
Yeah.
fighting, and you'd be like, wow, that boat looks pretty good. They're shooting on location or whatever it is they're doing. And then it would cut to the close-up again, and you're like, you were right fucking there. Why are we doing it like
Because all the 50-year-olds didn't want to leave LA,
Yes.
and they went on a lot, and they're
Yes.
like, screaming to the fucking gun, and then they're like,
We
we're going to
didn't
film
need
this
this.
movie over here.
We didn't need it.
No, we didn't.
Oh, Brendan,
we didn't ask
Brendan,
for this.
Have you heard the news about Sylvester Stallone's next movie?
No.
Can you guess?
Escape Plan 4.
No.
Damn.
Better.
Rocky 8.
Even better.
Rambo.
Yes.
Rambo 7.
Because what's better than Rambo Last Blood?
Rambo Second to Last Blood.
Rambo Last Blood Part 2.
Rambo Not So Last Blood, but like, it's the end.
It's pretty close, so it's
I'm
okay.
retiring, but we got another one squeezed out.
4.
Rambo.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, the podcast actually started because we sat down and watched the first 2 Rambo movies, shit-faced out of our minds in college.
You know what's crazy? The first Rambo was anti-war. And the rest
Didn't
of
feel
them
like that.
are so pro-war.
You know what's funny, though? We started watching those 2 movies because the goal was to get through all of them because we wanted to watch it before Last Blood came
We saw
out.
2 and we're like, nah, I'm done.
We were completely done.
I cannot do this
I don't know
more.
if you ever saw Last Blood. I fucking didn't. Something about the Mexican cartel. I don't know. I feel like it went straight to streaming.
I saw it once and I saw the memes where he's like, chick, 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 on the gun, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know. You know what else happens in between? Nothing. Just like that.
Expendables 4.
Bad.
Bombed.
Bad fucking movie.
$100 million budget.
Yeah.
Impossible. No part of it looks polished. No part of it looks like they gave a
They
shit.
spent all the money on paying the cast that did not
Yes.
deserve to be there.
Yes. My favorite part, I think, was the first shot that Megan Fox was in where she was just screaming. but her eyes were just dead,
Mhm.
and then her makeup wasn't blended from her neck, so it looked like her head was just kind of floating.
My favorite shot was at the end when you pointed out that she just wasn't wearing a bra for absolutely
Dude, it was like
no fucking reason.
It was like a Marvel reveal,
Just,
okay?
like-
It was like the way that they filmed it. It was like, man, you got through this whole movie. It was all the guys talking, and then it cut to just Megan Fox without a bra on, walking straight down the bar, and she was like, "Hey guys," and in my head, I'm like, Is this like a reward? What are you doing?
It was just like, hey, we're wrapping up this movie.
Yes.
But here's these fake boobs with these fake nipples poking through this really thin shirt that are going to distract you from this scene that doesn't matter because all of it's bullshit anyway.
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's just like, what's happening?
Oh, and then Barney
What
gets
the
his ring.
fuck? And Barney gets his ring back, and you're like, that's great. Why is she so braless? And like the entire...
It was just weird because it's everything feels like a random Marvel reveal.
Yeah.
It feels like, because it panned to her, and then it stayed. And I'm like, am I supposed to clap?
What I find weirdest about it is that, like, I feel like in a movie, especially like a couple of years ago, you would do something like that and it would be like, oh, this is like the sex appeal. This is whatever. But
Yes.
it wasn't that. It was just
No.
like, why are you not wearing a bra? This is so distracting.
Sylvester
You were
Stallone
like 50,
is
or at
trying
least
to
you look like
focus.
it because you were
He
a
can't
plastic
remember his
person.
lines.
Like, and just like, what is happening?
Please let him
What
be.
is like? You do not need to be in this scene.
No.
I want to see this 7-year-old senile fuck try
how
to be
old
an
is
action
Sylvester
star.
Stallone?
I don't know. He's too fucking old.
You know Arnold's in the first 3?
Yeah.
And he's in them a lot.
Yeah.
Microphone.
And it's just like every single creative...
Terry Crews is in the first 2 too.
Yeah, and he's good. And every single creative decision, including Megan Fox, at all in this movie,
Okay.
is a swing and a miss.
Let me backtrack. I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Why is she in this movie?
I'm not opposed to Megan Fox being in the movie. I'm opposed.
You're right, 'cause she's
to
such an
her
action
being-
star known
fucking
for her combat.
Pay attention, okay? Just fucking hold on. I'm not opposed to her being in the movie. I'm opposed to her being the focal point. If she was like fucking 50 Cent or someone else who's sitting in the background,
Who's worse?
yeah. We got to talk about his scene. If she's just someone sitting in the background and she's like, yeah, what's up, I'm Megan Fox, I'm here to kick some ass, fine. But if you want to make her the focal point, make her worth it. If she can't act the way that they need her, if she can't carry the scene the way they need, if she can't have the charisma that
Yeah.
we need, then don't fucking bet an entire
They didn't
movie
even
on
give her good action.
No.
She showed up at the end and she's like, I got a gun. We're going to fight the bad guy. Oh, man, he's dead already? Good thing
Damn.
I was here. So it's like,
Good
no,
thing I got this
motherfucker.
big gun.
Like, what do you do? You did nothing.
You know what's cool? Who needs a big gun? In the first movie, Terry Crews has this gigantic shotgun, and
yeah.
he mows people down for like 6 minutes straight.
Where's Terry? I need Terry. Did he die?
There's not going to be another Expendables movie, so you don't have
Better
to worry
fucking
about
not
it.
be. Did you know why? I'll have to see
Why?
it.
Timmy's right.
We're gonna have to see it, and it's gonna be even worse than this one.
Fuck, I had to say
and
something.
we're gonna go, fuck. Let's go watch that movie. We're gonna be like, man, the last
This
one was
was
a 4.
bad.
This one was a 0. And guess what? They announced a 6, so let's go see it.
Because it makes money.
It's just, as much as we rant, as much as you just heard me rant
Oh,
about
dude.
Disney and Star Wars for
It's the
20,
same thing.
30 fucking minutes, this is so
was a
much
half
more
hour.
egregious and so much more awful in every way,
Yeah.
because not only is it bad, they think it's good. They're not trying
They
to
do.
pretend. They thought that this was a good, and you can tell in the way they filmed it and
Yeah.
the way they acted. They're like, man, this is an action movie.
You know what's the best, like how do I put this without sounding too vulgar? It's like the most like personal suck-off moment is when they go, hold on, we need to distract them. And a forklift comes up on an elevator and it's fucking blasting PIMP by 50 Cent. And you're like, oh my God. And they make sure to like linger on it and they go back to the bad guys. They go back to the boombox. They go back to the bad guys. And then they're shooting the boombox and it stops. Nobody like jumps out. There's no bomb. It's just 50 cents in this movie.
the funny part for me was that I didn't know that was 50 Cent. I thought that was Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, man, I wonder if 50 Cent's in this song at some point, because that would be a weird, like, thing to throw in here. And you're like, I can't believe they put that 50 Cent song in. I'm like, that was him? I did not know. This is not meant for me.
It was-
Because when you're putting 50 Cent in a movie designed for 50-year-old dads, that's not the reference they're going to get.
Well, then again, 50 Cent was popular like 20 years ago.
Wherever we go.
Wherever we go. Well, I liked it better when there were cats coming to
He
buy
was
us.
popular 50 years ago, but that was clearly 50 years ago. Jesus
years
Christ.
ago.
He was popular
He is
20,
50 years
20
old.
years ago, saying
Is
that
he?
20, 30-year-old dads, even 30-year-old guys are not looking at that movie going, man, this is good. That was for like 40, 50-year-old dudes who were just like, oh my God, what an awesome action movie, because it was made specifically for them, and if you're not them,
I don't know what you heard about me, but I
Yeah.
can't get $1 out of me. No Cadillac. Sorry, that was really bad.
Yeah. I don't know why you're drinking Jim Beam. Who wants Jim Beam?
Makes me wanna watch the
Anti-sponsored.
ranch. Anti-sponsored. We'll pay you to leave us the fuck alone.
You're garbage.
Okay. Let's move on to something else. This might be a little controversial based on your opinion.
Ooh.
Sex Education, season 4. The end of the show, the end of the series. I have to say, off the bat, right?
Bad.
I'm going to give my opinions first before you start fucking screaming at me again. I'm going to say I agree with a lot of
screaming at you. I'm very passionate about
You're targeting me, personally.
Targeting the green screen
with
behind
a bomb.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to agree with a lot of the Instagram comments. Too many new characters. Ending, they kind of dropped the ball because it doesn't feel like a lot of the previous. But I got to tell you, based on what they did within the season, Timmy was right next to me. That final scene of Otis reading that note, because I've been watching this show since it came out and whatever. I have like some kind of attachment.
Yeah.
As he's reading the note, fucking hit. Fucking hurt.
Oh, no.
In a vacuum, outside of all these new characters that I found incredibly annoying, fuck. The whole time I'm sitting there, they're making sure to jump to each one. They're like, oh, do you care about this new character, how they're going to end up? I'm like, end with Otis. If you don't end the scene with Otis being sad about Maeve leaving, then you drop the ball. You drop the ball harder than you did already. But if you can just end with Otis hurting my heart a little bit, fine. Even if Maeve just showed up, she was like, actually, I'm going to throw my life away. I'd be like, that's a bad ending, but like, Otis, okay. He's supposed to be the heart and center. Him reading that note, I was like, dickhead. My heart hurts.
Two biggest things for me, at least for this season, were...
Can you say Adam?
Adam? What?
No, like
I love Adam.
I hate that he's so fucking disconnected from the story. Why is he not in there? Why are they just like...
Because he had his story, season 2.
Fuck that.
He's still in there because people like him.
Yes.
But he does not fit in there. He does not belong in the school. He does not do whatever. My two main problems with the show were that it was sex education, where it was people who, no matter what their sexuality was of any kind, their problems were sex-based. And then as the show went on, it didn't become sex-based, it became sexuality-based, and their sex problems were no longer the issue. And you can be whatever sexuality or gender or whatever you want, but the show's influence and main topic was their sexual problems, and especially in the last season of the show, there was barely any sex or anything like that, and it was just people being like, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I want from this, and I'm like, as much as you want to talk about that, that's not what this was.
Yes. So out of the one between the two of us with a sociology degree, I can tell you really quick that,
go for it,
that sexuality is basically what they're into. It's not, has nothing to do with their sexual identity.
Yes.
With that correction, 100% you're right. Had nothing to fucking do with sex or sex education or anything to do with it. They went, hey, how are we going to make this about sex ed? Otis wants to be a therapist. How's he going to do that? He wants to fuck someone over.
Yeah.
That's compelling.
Cool. I could totally see that happening in the first season when he was immature and stupid.
Yes. How much fucking character growth do you have to go through in 3 seasons to then just regress and be like, new school? I want to fuck stuff up.
I want to be in charge and show my flaccid penis.
That's a funny scene. Homie doesn't know how AirPlay works.
Bluetooth connected. What? No.
You know what I hate even worse? Because this is the type of show that would do it?
Yeah.
They showed a penis on the screen.
Like 7 times in a row.
Different angles, different photos. Hated it.
One thing I will give this season that I 100% did not expect is the dude who's in the wheelchair, whose name I currently forget, thought he was going to be a one-off and disappear, and the fact that they turned him into a legitimate character for this season.
Hated it.
I actually enjoyed that part.
I hated how... He clearly, people liked him, so they were like, oh, we have to find a way to bring him back. So they just found a way for him to like someone else and get into a different romantic relationship, even though it had nothing to do with what really felt like the overarching story. My problem with the show on the whole is that at a certain point, it feels too disconnected. Amy is going one way, Adam's going another way.
Amy's the girl who had like got assaulted.
Teeth,
yes.
Timmy and I love her. She's very compelling. She's cute. She's funny. Most of the time, her story has nothing to do with anybody.
My problem with her is I wanted to see her get her sexuality back. And at the end of this, she's like, I accepted that this happened to me, but I didn't see her move past it. She was just kind of like,
she started to.
Yes, but that's why I watched the show. I didn't watch this to see you start to finish your journey. Finish the journey.
I thought her story in the entire season was funny to me because it was like, I'm going to be a dildo tester, and then I'm going to like a guy, and I'm going to learn to take photos.
I like
simple, straight to the point.
only thing I don't like is that they were like, especially in this season, they're like, Adam, he's like, I'm bi. And I'm like, you couldn't get hard in the first season because you weren't fucking a dude.
Yes.
You're not bi.
100%.
You're gay.
It's my problem isn't even that his sexuality changes, because sexuality can be fluid.
Yeah.
My problem is that he
didn't reach that
make
point.
sure
They just changed it like a switch.
Exactly. They make sure to just hammer home to you. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
look, it's first 3 seasons. It's like, oh, look, he's gay. Here's all the reasons that he's gay. Final season. This girl, she was really good in the interviews, so we're gonna put her in the show. Now he's bi.
Yeah.
That's not character growth. That's you just writing something to fucking solve a contract.
The only other major problem I have with this is not actually, I mean, I guess it is story, but Maeve and Otis don't belong together.
No.
At all.
No.
They are a problem for each other.
Entirely.
And the entire show tries to justify them being together, when in reality, I think Otis should have ended up with Ruby, because being with her would have made her a better person and less of a bitch. And it would have grounded him a bit better and less be obsessive about a girl he can't have. And I think that would have been better as a couple, as a whole.
100%.
And the way that they started like doing some things in season 4.
They literally took the season, and at a certain point they were like, fork in the road separation. Fork in the road separation. But what I do appreciate is in the last episode, they didn't go, Otis is sad now. Ruby's sad now. They're a couple. Look, they ended up together. They were like, Otis, I'm going to try. We could be friends. And she was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go. Box is checked. That's perfect. Jackson is another character. Who? Does it? Jackson? He's got a lump on his balls.
Him, yeah.
Does another character that doesn't make sense why he's in it.
No,
I liked Vivian.
The weird lump in his ball sphere was a very, like,
it
right
was always
turn
one of those
just
things
fucking
where you're like, oh man,
season.
they're all scared about sex and like the relationships. And then Jackson's like, my balls are growing. And then he's like, I'm going to go meet my dad. You were like,
no, I don't want you. Never wanted you. I don't like that the mom, who's the blonde one for him,
from Ted Lasso,
was in Ted Lasso, and very much had smaller roles as the season went on,
because she
would have had been able to get paid more when she was very much a big part of the show in season 1
100%.
and 2 and everything. And it just there was all, but the one thing I did appreciate, which was the opposite side of that, is the music teacher and the like English teacher.
I love that they showed up
in the funeral,
and he fucking sang "You Too."
Yeah,
and he belted the shit out of it.
And I love that he came back for that. That was one of the few moments where I'm like, you know what? Their story was done, and I understand that. But the fact that you acknowledge that they're part of this universe,
still in this world, exactly, they still exist. You don't just go outside of things in a vacuum. Like honestly, I understand there's a handful of actors that didn't come back this season because they're doing other projects or money or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any fucking sense to me how they're like, oh yeah, man, Maeve's mom died, Vivian, Jackson, all these. It doesn't make sense that all of these people show up.
Yeah,
some of them it does. Otis, Amy, whatever. But why the fuck is everybody like Vivian's boyfriend? There's absolutely no, because she didn't feel any kind of emotional, like she wasn't emotionally compelled to be there. Why the fuck is she gonna go, oh man, my boyfriend's gotta come because it makes me sad?
Yeah,
doesn't make any fuck. And him, that's another part of the story I just didn't give a shit about.
The other thing I also wanted to talk about,
they were checking boxes.
Yeah, they were like, how do you wrap up a show? But like not really.
Even that.
But not really.
It's not even
how do you
wrapping up a show. It's how do you show more representation for other situations simultaneously with only 8 episodes given.
That was the thing. They tried so much harder to show more representation. When you're in your final season, stop worrying about showing
the characters. Focus on
what you have.
There's absolutely no reason for you to go, hold on, new school, new characters, new this, new that. I get it. You have to go to a new school. Fine. Get most of the cast from before.
Yeah.
Why are you going to go, all right, we got to hire these more people? And if you lose 30% of the cast, then make it smaller.
The other thing that's kind of like bothering me in these things, which I'm seeing in a lot of movies and stuff now, is they very much want to have disabled people involved in things.
Which is fine.
And everyone chooses the fucking deaf person. Go with the blind person. That's so much harder to write. It would be so much more impressive. Everyone's going with the deaf person, and it feels like a bit of a cop-out at this point, especially where everyone's just like, oh, no, you're deaf, but you can understand what everyone's saying. And you write a blind person, you have to solve that issue.
Yes.
You have to be like, how do they communicate with the people in this world? How do they do whatever? And, like, do that. Commit to the bit. No disrespect to deaf people, but, like, as far as, like, they viewed it in the show, like, it just felt like a bit of a cop-out.
Yes.
They're just like, they're disabled, but not really.
What I do appreciate is there's steps moving forward for inclusivity.
Yeah.
It's steps moving forward in terms of non-binary people and in gender fluidity, in disabled people. That dude in the wheelchair, he's the only person I've ever seen that's that guy, that is that form of disabled, that heavily, that has just like a permanent, constant role in something. I've never seen that in a show that I've watched.
Friday Night Lights.
He's not.
The arms, you got the fucking basketball.
Yeah, but he's a regular actor. He's an able-bodied person.
You know if he's able-bodied?
Yes.
Do you know?
Yes.
Are you sure?
How else is he going to act
for
like a
while,
football
Walter
player?
Jr., I didn't know if he was disabled or not, or if he was just an actor. Like, you're assuming
Brendan, the first episode or two is the dude running around playing football.
I'm talking about sex ed right now. How do you know that he needs the chair?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Stupid monkey brain. Monkey brain don't understand.
And like the fact that they had like a 2-3 episode arc where they're just like, man, I don't get the representation I deserve. I don't get the understanding. You guys need to fix this elevator because it's just like I'm the only one here who needs it. Is whatever was actually a cool angle where like like no one really touches on this and everything, but like they went on it so long that it felt like it stalled the show a bit.
Agreed. There's multiple points where it feels like they stalled the show.
Yeah.
Between really just like all of O, the sex therapist.
Yeah,
shit,
I'm
feel like
asexual. Okay, cool.
that felt like
After everything we've seen in this show, you being asexual is not like a mind-shattering like reveal. Like it's
not
just
even, it's the way they did it.
Yeah,
because the kind of person that she was portrayed as in the show, at that point when she does it, you're like, I don't believe you.
Yeah,
you're just fucking lying because you want to change things. Of, like whatever. It didn't make any sense. It didn't impact me in any way.
And she's like, I'm sorry I threw you under the bus. I just wanted to be cool because I was unaccepted. So is everybody. That doesn't make you not a bitch.
Listen,
like,
I'm all for moving forward and forgiving people and getting over things. But if you're going to bully someone for 5 years, fuck you.
Yeah.
They have every right to
I'm
hold a
sorry.
grudge.
I did it because I wanted to be cool.
You called me a bedwetter for 10 years.
I'm
what the
so
fuck
sorry.
do you mean
I
you're
didn't
sorry?
understand your point of view. I didn't know you wanted to be cool. My bad. Like, what? No.
Bedwetter?
Fuck you.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad they didn't botch the ending entirely.
I'm not glad it's over. They did botch it didn't end. Everything
so then be those people in the Instagram comments that petition for a movie, okay? Tell Emma Mackey that she needs to stop doing acting in movies and shit and tell her to come back to do one more movie.
It doesn't need it. They just got it wrong. There's no pulling it back. There's no doing whatever. It feels like the people who made season 4 watched the show and went, we could do a season of it.
Yes.
And then they're like, we can do this, we can wrap it up and do whatever. And they're just like, oh yeah, no.
This feels like one of those shows that should have gotten left on the cutting room. I hate to say it because I love this fucking show. It feels like it's one of those shows that should have gotten left on the cutting room.
If it ended last season, I probably would have been happier with the show.
Not even if it ended, but if they ended on season 3 and then they went, oh, we have to cancel it because of COVID and Netflix, whatever.
I would have been disappointed, but it would have been better.
Because 4 feels so fucking disjointed from the look, the way that people look, the story basis, the characters that return. None of it feels like it should. None of it flows fluidly.
All the stories that don't even have a wrap up. Like Adam's dad being like, no, I'm trying to be a better person. I'm going to cook and stuff like that. And you see him once again, like, I think you said her name is Amy with the teeth.
Yeah.
He takes a step forward towards being that person, but it doesn't wrap up.
Yes.
There's just, you see him progress and then that's it. And you're like, I guess he becomes okay. Like, what's happening? And they knew it was the final season, so they should have planned. It's not like they filmed it and they're like, oh, this is the last one. Fuck. Like, no, you knew this was the final season. Wrap that shit up.
Did they?
Yeah, it was announced last year.
Oh, that's fair. Ooh. You got sausage fingers.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about an upcoming show.
Ooh.
That we're hopeful for.
Wednesday season 2.
No. A show that you've spoken about like 3 times today alone.
Have I?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Loki. Are we nervous that they're going to drop the ball? Because if we're going to switch gears a little bit to Marvel, Marvel's been more hit or miss than anybody else in the entirety of the industry right now.
As much as I want to say yes to that, Loki was as much like, even if though I enjoyed WandaVision, Loki was the best show I think I watched. And because of that, and because Loki has been a staple of the Marvel Universe and great in every instance he's been in, even though I'm nervous, the likelihood of it being at least a semi-entertaining show, I think, is higher than most of what Marvel has done.
I would agree.
The fact that not Hiddleston, that's Spider-Man.
No,
No, that is him. It is
Loki,
him.
yes.
With Tom. What?
Holland.
Too many Toms.
Yes.
He's just been phenomenal from the beginning. The only worry that I have so far is just seeing the intense, purposeful product placement at McDonald's that they're even advertising as product placement. Be like, why is McDonald's in the show? I don't know, because you guys like fucking money. That's why.
That's the only reason. Yeah, that's the entire only reason.
Like,
they have no purpose in the show other than you going, look, it's McDonald's, and then McDonald's can go, look, it's Loki.
It's from the 70s, and we had Szechuan sauce. Buy some. Like, it's just like,
Dad.
it's just stupid. Oh yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
It just, as much as I don't have faith in Marvel with a lot of things coming out, this is one of those things where I have the least amount of worry.
On me. From Chata, pumpkin spice. Jim Beam is not good.
Never was.
Well, when you watch The Ranch, it's pretty good. I'm hopeful for Loki. How do we want to go about reviewing Loki? Do you want to do it every week, or do you want to wait until the ending? Because I'm going to watch it every week, but it's a matter of when we want to review it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to watch it every week.
Well, because then we could just sit and like.
I think we do
shit.
a first episode, middle of the series, and then finale, rather than every
premiere
week.
Middle.
Yeah.
How many episodes is it? 6, 8?
Who
My
knows?
assumption is
Who knows?
I don't know. Kang. Think Kang's going to be worth it?
Half canceled.
Half canceled. Yeah. It's so funny hearing every other day how Marvel's changing like their landscape of things. How you hear all these different leaks about, oh man, now Secret Wars is about this. Now it's about this. Now it's about this. What are they going to do about Kang? Here, Marvel has a backup plan.
Give me a cohesive story.
You mean the bare minimum?
Yeah.
I love that the new cop out. We want to talk about the MCU as a whole for a little bit. It's a whole cop out now. Marvel fucked up, and it's not like they fucked up with one or two things. They fucked up for like 3 or 4 years in terms of having a cohesive universe.
Mm-hmm.
And now all the leaks you hear is that Secret Wars is going to be a reboot for the universe.
I've never heard that once.
You've never heard that once?
It sounds that's Dynasty, more disappointing. It feels like DC now.
Allegedly.
Kang
Dynasty. A year later, Secret Wars. A year later, Secret Wars Part 2. And then it's a universal reboot for everything. You ever fuck up so bad that you have to reboot your $10 billion universe?
No. You know what happens? You end it because it needs to die. It should have ended after Endgame, and we were all greedy motherfuckers, and we want more, and then we hear you. You saw that, right?
No.
Nope, something flew out of my mouth. And they were like, we hear you. Not only are we going to give you movies, we're going to give you TV shows. And we all went, thank you so much. This is exactly what we wanted. Then we got the first 2 shows, and we're like, this is so cool. And then immediately after that, we're like, wow. Not only did you fuck up, we fucked up. And they went, we hear you loud and clear. More shows. Let's do it.
Let's go.
We're going harder.
Ironheart Armor
You
Wars
want
is
movies?
the
shortest movie we ever made. Let's go. And it's just like, what are you doing? Kevin, man. Kevin.
I don't think it's him.
Kevin.
I think he's just trying to ride the sinking ship as it goes down.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd cash that paycheck in until it fucking crashes. And then
when
everything crashes, and he's standing there in the rubble and his contract's over with Disney, I would totally go on Jimmy Kimmel and be like, yeah, they fucked that up, didn't they?
Yeah.
They really fucked up my universe. But you know what?
I'll take over DC.
$100 million.
Fuck out of the way, James Gunn.
$100 million. Look at me. DC's no better. Every other day, James Gunn is like, this is canon. This isn't canon. Wait, now it's canon. Wait, now it's not canon. Blue Beetle's not canon in the DC universe.
Not anymore. No. Yet, technically.
Aquaman 2, all I've heard is that there's going to be no press or anything for it because they have no faith in
marketing.
The movie.
Yeah. So put it on Max.
Exactly.
Skip it. I was talking about this today.
Or just premiere it on both.
You don't need to put it out because you're filling a gap for a need that does not exist.
You're just going to lose yourself money.
And then when the real things come out that people want to see, or people who don't even know, they're going to be like, oh, it's another Marvel movie. I mean, it's another DC movie. Mm-hmm. Who gives a fuck? Mm-hmm. But you cut Aquaman, and you're just like, oh man, it's been like 8 months or a year since there's been a DC movie. What is this one? Mm-hmm. You're more interested in it. Why are you constantly putting out content just to see it fail when no one asked for it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Taxes?
Maybe. That's why they killed Batgirl.
Give me Lobo.
Give me what I fucking want already, man.
So that's the other thing, is I've heard someone say that Brendan Fraser's portrayal of Firefly was Oscar worthy. Now, is that clickbait, or was it that good? We'll never know.
Never. It's got to exist.
We ain't seen it. It'll be an archive for like 30 years.
Probably. They're like, oh, we destroyed everything. No, you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
You spent like $100 million on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
No, you fucking didn't. You did not destroy everything. So Loki, I'm excited for regardless. Speaking of a couple other things we're excited for as we start to wrap up the episode, Assassin's Creed.
I want to play it so bad. I just can't swing it right now.
Oh my god, me too. I just can't afford it right now. It's not even going to happen.
No.
It's because I like buying dumb shit.
But it looks good, so I'm going to be following it.
100%. I'm going to be watching videos. Maybe for Christmas we'll get it, and we'll review it then.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows? Gaming is really hard for us because gaming isn't as simple as like, oh, I'm going to watch this thing on streaming. Gaming is like, I have to invest $70 or $80 to see if this is worth it.
We've been talking about Starfield, and I was talking about Baldur's Gate for a while. I have not finished either. Baldur's Gate, I was like halfway through the final act of the game, and then Starfield came out. I'm like, I'm just going to take a quick break. And then I started watching TV shows, and I watched all of Friday Night Lights in a week and a half. And I'm like, where did the time go? Where I'm not playing these games, I'm not doing whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's just
and then you don't want to spend money on it.
Yeah. And especially because like TV, for me at least, playing a game is something I need to focus on, and I want to pay attention to the story. TV is, even if I have to pay attention to the story, I can kind of just lay there, zone out, put it on the background if I want to, be like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? But a game, you have to actively play. You have to do all this stuff, and it makes it a bit harder, especially in a game like an open world game where you got to play 50, 60 hours and give a genuine review, especially if you're not getting it ahead of time. And that's your only job, where I could be like, hey, it's Monday morning. Can't wait to play this game for 5 days until we release an episode. Like,
yeah, that'd be totally different. But
that would be the life. Make it happen, please.
The fact of the matter is, we're adults. We work 40-something hours a week. And there's no universe where I come home and instantly want to sit down and put some significant amount of brain power into playing a video game. I want to come home. I want to veg out a little bit. I want to decompress. If I want to work on the podcast and do some edits or uploads or fix things, whatever, fine. Because I can do that moderately passively. But there's no universe where I'm going to sit down and go, yeah, I'm going to fucking play Starfield. I have like 12 hours played. I'm not going to fucking touch it. Because it's not even that it's too hard or it takes too much out of me. It's I have so much else going on that I would rather take this like 20% of brain power that I have left and put it towards literally anything else.
It's one of those things also where it's such a big game where I'm like, I could play this for 30 minutes, but it's like, it's such a grand story and universe and everything where like, I don't want to do it this justice of playing this for 30 minutes and being like, basing my experience off of that. I want to sit down for 2-3 hours and play the shit out of this game.
It's not something you could just, that's why I still love Call of Duty, man, because you could sit down and play 2 games and you go, all right, that's the half hour that I had. Time to move on. Starfield is something you can't go, all right, let me get 10 minutes in. Because in 10 minutes, you'll go, okay, I found the planet where the person with the story is. What am I going to do now? You got to get up and be done. It's not worth it. Couple more. Ready? SpongeBob.
Season 15.
Season 15.
Oh, yeah. Clancy Brown, 2 weeks in a row on the podcast.
That's good. I like that. Good job. Do you think SpongeBob is going to wind up being like The Simpsons, where it runs for like 30 seasons? Because I totally believe it.
Especially because the creator died and they are just
milking that shit.
Milking that fucking grave.
Milking that motherfucking cow,
absolutely.
Man.
Also,
wasn't there a prequel show on Peacock or something?
Yeah. Pretty good. Yeah, as much as I want to be like, man, they're fucking disgracing his grave. No, it's pretty good.
It's still SpongeBob.
Speaking of Clancy Brown as well, just have not watched much of it, but I watched the first half of an episode of like Generation V or whatever.
I heard it was really good. Is he in that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he's all over the place.
He's doing everything right now.
I know you don't watch The Boys. You love superhero movies with a passion. Even if it's not your show, you need to watch it to see it because it flips the script. Right. It does what?
I mean, it's realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a list.
Yeah.
A list of shows. Okay. There are certain things that we take detours for. Sex Ed or Rick and Morty when it comes out. That list, there is no room for error right now. The list is like Dragon Ball. We still have GT and Super to get through. And then I promised Timmy The Sopranos. And after The Sopranos, I don't remember what's next. But then after that, Dexter. Then after Dexter, it's like Friday Night Lights. Okay, there's no room. I don't have the time to throw
Those
on
are not
another show.
podcast shows.
You
Fit in podcast
can go
show.
fuck yourself because you're right. In my free time, I will watch.
This is the peak
thought that was
season
a
right
dog.
now. From now to like
I thought that was a pug. That's just a big cat.
From now to Christmas, there's a lot of shows coming out. There's a lot of whatever. I'm watching the new Castlevania prequel show right now, though we're not really going to talk about that on here. If I finish it, I'll maybe throw a couple sentences out and stuff, but that's not really his thing. It's not. We don't really do a lot of anime on here besides Dragon Ball,
Right.
so it's not really going to be our thing. Never really played the Castlevania games, but the shows are great. Everything that studio puts out is great. They have like the Blood of Zeus and stuff like that. All awesome. This show, everything you love about Marvel, everything you hate about DC, everything that you have, why the fuck did they do that in a superhero movie, gets brought up in this, becomes realistic, it becomes R, not because it can, but because it needs to be. It also, for some reason, I'm not saying this is a plus, but it is there. The most consistent, high-definition, detailed penises in CG I have seen in media.
I think you really need to stop.
To the point of where it's just like, this is a creative choice. You guys have committed to this.
This takes hours of your life.
Why? Why is this?
Why have you taken the point?
Because
Why have
it's
you taken
weird.
the standpoint in the podcast now to tell me what I need to watch.
Because I know what you love, and I know what you would like.
You spent the first half hour of us sitting here telling me about how stupid I am for watching Ahsoka. Are you sure?
I understand why you enjoy it. I'm just saying that people as a whole right now are viewing Ahsoka and then idolizing it for the wrong reasons just because it hit a higher bar than the last pieces of shit that we got. And just because it hit a higher bar does not mean it's not the standard. And and I did the same thing when I saw certain parts. I was excited about it, but it's not where shit should be. It's just better than the pile of crap that we got. So it just seems better by comparison. They lowered the bar so much that even though it was at a 1, now it's at a 3, and you're like, oh my god, man, how have they done this when the bar used to be a 9 or a 10?
Brendan.
Yeah.
Kitty,
yes. Speaking of Kitty, there's that new movie coming out called Argylle with,
I like that you know
Henry Cavill.
I feel like a dog right now where you're trying to get my attention. You're like clearly I lost your here, boy, look.
Cat.
Good movie.
Kitty
Good
cat.
movie. Come here. Good movie. Argylle looks fucking phenomenal. Okay.
Does.
What a
I
cat.
love the Kingsman.
Did you see Bryan Cranston?
Yeah. Bryan Cranston. Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Henry Cavill.
With the worst haircut I've ever seen,
Oh
looking like
my
a Johnny
God.
Bravo motherfucker.
Yes.
Just going all out
What's
with that
her name?
square head.
Not Dakota Johnson. Fucking
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas
also
Howard.
racist Star Wars.
What?
She did a bunch
She does
of episode and
I thought
directed
you
for
said
like Mando.
racist Star Wars? I was like,
The most racist Star Wars person there is.
How dare she? Wookiees are people.
What?
I'm sorry.
Wookiees, the Wookiee movement. We have to start it here.
The Argylle. Wait, I need to get the rest of the cast. That's not how you spell that. Wait, oh my god.
Sam Rockwell.
Yes.
The opening scene for the. Why is the cat on the table? It's very menacing. Sam Rockwell fighting someone on
John
a train.
Cena.
Just John Cena. Oh my god! But like also the train scene and like
Rob Delaney.
the fact that it was so much over the top and everything got some
Catherine O'Hara.
bullet train vibes. So I'm
just gonna
happy
keep going.
that it was not all on the train, and that's why I'm going to keep going because I'm talking about this while you're doing that. I am not a big fan of the fact that it was like, oh, here's this action movie, but also here's the writer who's doing it. Okay, I just saw the thing with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock in it with
That's basically the whole cast.
that like and Daniel Radcliffe,
Amazon.
The Lost Island or whatever
Yes.
the fuck it is. Like I just
Same
saw
thing.
that. It's the same concept.
Yes.
Did whatever. Honestly, love that movie.
This movie looks phenomenal.
Very much.
The worst part about that
like,
trailer is when they
exceeded my
went
expectations.
when they went spring 2024. I was
Yeah.
like, first of all, 2024? How the fuck did that happen?
You know what? I don't know if this is something you follow or anything, but I know it's kind of big
No.
on YouTube. Show called Has Been Hotel. Animated, very musical, orientated, but also adult cartoon. It got picked up as I'm going to say something. I don't know if it's accurate or not. So if anyone in the comments wants to correct me, go for it. The first A24 cartoon. on Amazon Prime was a YouTube series, and the majority of the cast, including the vocals, the people who sing, all got recast for this show that's coming out this January. Even though people fell in love with the voices and everything that they originally had. And they said they don't want it. The people who got fired said, we don't want you going out and hating these people who...
Is it Marcel the Shell with shoes on?
With shoes on? Is there a Marcel with shoes off?
Marcel the Shell with shoes on? Yeah.
I don't know who that
That's
is.
the nemesis. Marcel the Shell with shoes off.
No.
Marcel the Shell without shoes.
It's just...
I'm going to keep spitting everywhere.
I loved it. I think the first episode came out in 2019. It was only one episode, and since then we are now getting the first season. The fact that they loved it and they replaced almost the entirety of the cast.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Have you Googled images of it?
I did, and I couldn't find it. That's why I found Marcel the Shell with shoes.
Has Been Hotel.
I'm not going to look for it.
Okay. It's one.
How did we get here? Is the Argylle A24?
No.
How the fuck did we get here?
You were distracted, and I just kept talking.
See, I hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
I gotta get you a leash.
No, you need to get reined in because you got distracted by cats.
Nope,
not there anymore.
Loaf on the floor.
It was loaf on the table. Now it's loaf on the floor.
I was very confused.
Like Cat in the Hat.
Cat in the Hat.
No doubt about that.
Good job. Okay, folks, the last thing we're going to touch on right now is the state of streaming, which is 100%. The 100% ripping from IGN just did their yearly review about how good or bad streaming is right now across the board. To keep it simpler, what would you say the best streaming service is right now?
Hulu. Which I saw an article about today, and I thought about it, and they're right. Every streamable... And you know what's the craziest thing? My runner-up, because of the TV shows alone, not the movies, I'm going to go with Peacock.
Peacock has been climbing the reins, that I would see.
They have The Office, they have Parks and Rec, they have Brooklyn Nine-Nine, all the sitcoms you could possibly fucking want.
What about Friends?
It might be on there. I haven't checked. It could be. I don't think that's on...
Isn't Friends on Hulu?
Could be. That's the other thing. They also have the good shit. They have the Fox animation shows and everything.
Yes,
they have all that stuff because it's also Disney owned, because it's Fox owned, whatever. They got all that stuff. They got the other stuff that I like Shoresy and Letterkenny and that kind of shit.
Bad show.
Take it back. Take it back. The first 3 episodes are a little off, but once you get past that, the show was great, minus the last season because they went on tour for a live show, which I also saw, which I cried from laughter from. It was great. Shoresy, you have to be a hockey fan to enjoy, but if you are, the best hockey piece of media I think I've ever seen. It understands it more than anything. As a player, as a viewer, I don't think I've ever seen a sports piece, as much as I love Friday Night Lights.
Great fucking show.
I didn't play football, so I don't know, but I've never seen something represent players and the experience and the culture.
That's because you played hockey, right?
As clearly as they did, though.
That's an entirely biased opinion.
Okay, that's fair. That's what I just said. I haven't played those other sports. I don't know whatever. I watch other sports. I do whatever. I played baseball for a while. I like a lot of baseball movies.
You know what's really
Sandlot's
sad?
A classic. Like, what? What?
Take a deep breath. You're getting very excited. I think you're forgetting to breathe.
Shoresy. Love it. Live it. Breathe it.
You know what's really sad? Is that Disney Plus deserves to be very low on the list.
Absolutely.
Because their content they're pumping out is just not good. And then what's even better is a year later they're like, new cut. Boop.
You know what I really want to talk about?
No.
The fucking disrespect.
No.
Of the Halloween season on streaming services. Put that shit up in September. I should not have to wait till October to watch spooky movies and have you put up the collections when I'm in the mood at the beginning of September. With Shudder, you got the fucking Halloween, all those
Halloween.
Disney putting up their things with Hocus Pocus, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, they take it down until then? Yeah.
I shouldn't have to search it in
Brian,
your
it's a
search
money
bar.
printing time. That's exactly what they should do.
Yeah. They should put it out. It's on there. You just have to search it. You put that on the front page. It's the spooky season. It's fall. If Spirit is alive, so should the movies. I don't know what I'm pointing at, but
it's probably a black screen, a nice black wooden wall that we built.
Nice. And built.
What?
And built.
Who built?
We built.
We just built. Look, it's nice and soft. Feels almost.
Why do you turn into the podcast? I see some guy struck a wood wall. Obviously,
that's what we built. Come on, look. Ready?
Wall. Yeah, you're gonna have to cut that. It's another wall. Another even darker wall.
That's a good idea. It's just black. It's just the color black. There is nothing besides the podcast. Only void.
We live in a void. The wall is the only thing we
Please
see.
save us.
The wall and each other.
iPhone 4.
We need to hit 1 million subscribers to save us.
1 million?
1 million.
We haven't even cracked 400
Yep.
yet.
Get
Your
100.
optimism. Do better.
You need to save us.
You know what I think is really funny?
What?
Is we are not a podcast for a main topic anymore. Because every time we get to the main topic is when like one of us is winding down, or we've already spent the last like 50 minutes screaming.
The main topic was just Ahsoka.
It basically was.
Yeah.
It's just you fucking screaming at me and me getting so aggravated with you. Because I go, I like a thing, and you go, why do you like the thing? Stop it!
Because I'm giving you facts, and you're just like, but
You're
it's
not giving me
meat.
facts. You're giving me your fucking opinion.
I'm giving you facts.
Show me the field research. Show me the facts. Show me the numbers, and then I will tell you that it is a fact.
So what we're going to have to do is we're going to sit down and watch all the Star Wars from episode 1 all the way through the shows, and then we're going to have to rate it. And when Ahsoka's in the bottom fucking 5, you can finally admit that it was a shit show.
Ahsoka's better than episode 2.
Obviously.
Ahsoka's better than Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's better than the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's better than the 3rd season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah. You haven't named anything good yet.
I know. It's better than...
My case in point, you're labeling...
Listen, hold on! I'm going from bottom to top, Brendan. It's better than 9.
Barely.
It's better than 8.
Barely.
Because 8 is better than 9.
8 is better than 9, but 8 has better moments than Ahsoka has
7,
had.
8, 9. So that makes sense why we're afraid of comparing it to 7.
Yeah. Is it better than 7?
I think it is better than 7.
It's not. It's not. 7, as much as people want to talk shit about the fact that it's a rehash story, you know why it's a rehash story?
Why?
Because it's good.
I hate you. Did you just fucking say that? Did you just say a rehash story is fine because it's good? After that's exact... I'm gonna take one of these lights, I'm gonna hit you with it, and I'm gonna keep hitting you until you stop making noise.
Yeah, but they rehashed it for Ahsoka, and guess what? It was bad. The difference between I could fucking reshuffle a deck all I want, but if I get shit cards versus good cards, it's a fucking different story.
Everything is different when it's for Brendan. If Brendan likes a thing, the situation doesn't matter. But if Brendan doesn't like a thing, everything is different because
right.
Brendan doesn't like it.
You heard it here first. Miguel likes Ahsoka better than episode 7.
That's right.
Get out. Fired.
Better than 7. Not better than 1, or 3, or 4, 5, or 6.
Or Rogue One.
Or Rogue One.
Or
Rogue
the Solo.
Rogue One,
movie.
no.
Better than Solo.
No, Solo is worse.
Solo's better.
Solo is worse than 9.
Woody Harrelson immediately makes it better.
No, it doesn't. That's just... Okay. What about Venom 2? Would you say Venom 2 is a great movie because Woody Harrelson is in it? Because automatically that would say it goes up pretty high. Let me remind you that Let There Be Carnage is a bad fucking movie, regardless of Woody Harrelson.
Stand corrected.
That's fine.
But Solo's a good movie, but was an unneeded movie, which was the problem.
It's fine.
Ahsoka is less than fine. It's mid as fuck.
It's better than Solo. I would say...
I got fucking Darth Maul in that. This is mid as fuck.
You got Darth Maul for 30 seconds, okay?
I got Darth Maul for 30 seconds. I was the Siege of Mandalore, and this was some fucking Darth Maul horns on a Mandalorian helmet. It's not the same. It's not the same.
What did you just say? Are you foaming at the mouth? We'll throw up.
All I got was some horns on a Mandalorian helmet during the Siege of Mandalore. I did not get
Because it was a fucking forced flashback. What, did you expect them to build a set for this 30-second fucking thing?
No, but I expected him to show the fuck up for 5 seconds and be like, Ahsoka!
Money, Brendan.
Money, yes. How much could the dude who had one famous role in his life be worth?
I feel like the weird thing, too, is Darth Maul in the end of the Clone Wars is a very skinny dude. And I feel like Ray Park would show up and be like...
But it's not him.
Ray Park?
Wait, Ray Park? Oh, no, he was lanky in Solo.
Was he?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Have you ever seen a photo of what Ray Park looks like?
No.
He's not a lanky gentleman.
No?
No.
You know who we need? The other dude. Who does the voice. Starkiller, yeah. What's his name?
I don't know.
I've been getting so many things on YouTube about him, like YouTube shorts about talking about whatever.
That, like, he should come back?
He should come back. He, like,
yes, he was,
not only does he enjoy it, he lives and breathes that shit, and he's like, I know what it is.
But see... But then if you want Starkiller to come back, all of your argument falls apart. Because your whole thing is we need to stop filling in the gaps. Starkiller is literally...
Oh, no, I'm not saying Starkiller. I'm saying the actor.
Oh,
He needs to come back. Find a way
that
to
makes
shove him in because he clearly loves this more than half the fucking people working for Disney.
what about Fred? What's his name?
Fred from Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
Wait,
the actor.
really?
Yes.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yes, Freddie Prinze Jr. is a huge fucking Star Wars fan. He voiced Kanan.
Yes, you're right. I saw him talk about.
He was the voice
Darth
actor
Maul.
for Kanan, the blind man who dies, who's the dad of the blue-haired kid.
Was he?
Yes, he voices Kanan.
Bring him back. Fuck it. You know who else we need to bring it? Carrie Fisher. Raise her from the dead. We need
They
more
did
Carrie
that.
Fisher.
They did that in Rogue One. What's next?
Society needs to stop.
Society is beginning to continue to crumble from
I
the
was
outside
being
in.
sarcastic, and then you said that. I'm like, oh my god, we did.
That's exactly
we
what
fucking did that.
Yeah, we did that for money.
Yes, we did. And you know what?
We'll do it again.
Not once did I watch that scene and go, fuck, it's Leia. I went, wow, look at that CG face.
Look at the clay on that woman's face. That poor woman.
The poor daughter
That
of
poor
hers.
clay woman.
Oh my god. And go back to American Horror Story. That's where her daughter's from.
Is it?
Yeah, she's in,
Kim
like,
Kardashian's going to be in the next one.
it's out already.
Is it?
Mhm.
Is it bad?
I'm not watching it. I gave
Emma
up
Roberts
after
wants to have a
like
baby.
6 seasons ago.
Folks, thank you for watching episode 74 of the podcast. This is our longest episode in a little while. I'm pretty sure that's Fuzz. That's not a fly.
It's a fly. Kill it.
He's living his life. Brendan,
Yeah.
what did we do last week?
Oh, we recorded an episode that you should watch.
What was it about?
I don't
Scream.
know. Scream. And
Dumb Money.
Dumb Money
And
and
dumb
other
content.
shows that we would watch
Yes, good job.
and that we have been watching for
I'm
a
really
while.
glad that I could give you the step stool
Yes,
to get to there.
you're welcome.
Everything is linked below. What are we doing next week?
Doing this again, reviewing something new. Probably Loki. Is that coming out next week?
Yes, the 5th.
Probably going over the first episode. We got another Halloween
talk about
movie, if not
Ahsoka
a two
on
to
the
go
whole.
over.
We're going to
Uh,
watch it.
Ahsoka for the finale. We're gonna
Yes.
both it films, both, not
Both.
just the first.
No. That's
are
a
we
whole
watching
6
the
hours I'm
original?
ready for. No, fuck that.
Good.
Fuck off.
I love Tim Curry, but fuck that.
Fuck that. I don't want to do any of that. Isn't that like 6 hours worth of... You're right, it is a fly.
Yeah.
I thought it was Fuzz. He was
No.
living his life.
Fuzz does not go up; it goes down. Well, there's wind.
In the absence of wind, Fuzz does inherently go down. You feel better after screaming for an hour and a half?
So much. Was I wrong though?
Goodbye, everybody.